is about Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, the whole trial.
Amber Turd.
Amber Turd, do you think she's innocent or guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Absolutely.
Final ruling?
No question.
Welcome to the
People of fucking Boston. Shut up, people of Boston. Park the car in Harvard Yard. I'll tell you what, the people who do this podcast, whoever's listening, good shit. They're good shit. We're here with the people of Boston. They're beauties. We're chilling.
Ooh. Good thing I'll keep the ooh and I'll cut the rest out. We got a ghost episode, Joe.
Ghosts, yep.
We got a ghost episode. Casper the friendly ghost, or maybe Jasper the not so friendly ghost. I don't know if you heard of him. And then you're welcome. And then we also have a POB municipal court where last time we did this, you and I were like debating back and forth. And this time we're doing like having the people on the streets be the judge and jurors. We're giving them kind of yes or no, innocent, guilty type questions, and they make the final decision.
Awesome.
Topics are today Amber Heard, innocent or guilty, in this defamation lawsuit with Johnny Depp. And also, should Trump have his Twitter back? Should Trumpy have his Twitter back? So, cheers to a fun episode. And let's get it started. We can't continue before we mention that we want you guys to visit our website, right?
That's right.
We want to get into this routine of kind of making sure you guys know what we have available for you guys. So our website is thepeopleofboston.com. Surprised that was available, actually, as a .com. But thepeopleofboston.com, you can find everything there, our social media links. You can leave us a review there. You can find everything there. And that's the thing, is we want you to leave us a review because that's going to help us. And we also want you to follow us on our social media because then we post like little clips and you kind of know what to expect on Monday when the new episode comes out.
That's right.
We also have a YouTube account that we just have been balls to the wall with. Joe is spearheading this process. He's learned, he went up and climbed a mountain in Tibet. Was it Tibet?
Yeah, it was Tibet.
Climbed up on a mountain in Tibet and met the founder of YouTube there. He is retreated to Tibet and learned all of the secrets. So we have everything really that you ever need to know about YouTube.
Yep.
And Rumble. Yep. Which is the YouTube equivalent, whatever you like. And so Joe met a man in the mountains and figured out how YouTube works, and that's why we've done this.
Yeah, I had to show him my private parts, but in the end, it worked out like really well for us.
Well, it's cheap. It was the only way we could pay.
Right. Because we're broke.
Yes, and the from what I've heard, what you have is really truly.
Oh, it's something. That's right.
And so. So there we go. That's how we got our YouTube up and running. And let's get into it. So the first topic that we talked with people about today was if they believe in ghosts.
That's right.
Right? So let's just start there. Joe, do you believe in ghosts?
So no, I don't believe in ghosts. When I was a kid, I loved watching like ghost adventures. Me and my friends would all get together and watch like those new episodes in the mid 2000s. So that was a lot of fun. And I feel like by us, we have like a lot of well-known like kind of spooky places like Fairfield Hills and Newtown. Yep. Where we grew up anyway, not in Boston, in Connecticut.
Yes.
But yeah, like they're just like creepy old factory buildings might be abandoned. This place was like an insane asylum. And you have a good one from where we're from. So I'm excited to hear that story from you again. But I don't believe in ghosts. I think the craziest thing that happened to me was when I was 15, I went to San Francisco.
Wow, nice.
And one of the cool things that we did there was go to Alcatraz.
Okay.
Which,
sorry to interrupt, but if people that have been listening since we started the podcast know, famously, Uncle Ben, who we met on the streets, escaped from Alcatraz.
That's right. Actually,
an impenetrable prison. You can't escape. There's no getting in, no getting out without their say. And he was able to escape.
That's right.
And we'll play the clip right here, just so you guys remember. And your name is Big Ben?
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Boston?
The whole thing of Benjamin Franklin Bucket Brigade, escape from Alcatraz.
So he actually escaped before I was there, and I saw a poster of him on the wall.
Yes.
So it kind of came full circle when you ran into him in the streets of Boston.
Yes.
So that was pretty crazy.
He was wanted for a while. Poor guy. So what's his story in Alcatraz?
So if you don't know, Alcatraz is pretty much like an old, what used to be a prison, but it's still open to the public for like tours and stuff like that. But it was so famous that they kept it open to make money off of it. So anyway, I went And as they're giving us a tour, I distinctly remember we're walking through like prison cells, and of course there were some famous people there, like Al Capone, I think Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly?
Isn't that that's where like MGK gets his name from, is a guy
named Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah,
oh, I didn't even know
right
that.
Now. Make sure, otherwise we're gonna have to redo that part.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Yes.
So Machine Gun Kelly was an American gangster.
Yeah.
George Kelly Barnes. Okay, cool.
So that's where MGK gets his name from.
Yeah.
But he was a real guy. So we saw some famous people's like old prison cells. All right. So those are the ones I think that the tour guides wanted us to see, right? We'd have a group of people, or we were in a group of people.
Yeah.
The tour guide was showing us around and telling us, weird stuff, cool facts, whatever. This guy lived here.
Yep.
And so those were the like cells that were like pretty much off limits, like you couldn't walk into them, right?
You couldn't go into Al Capone's cell?
So I think you could like look it, because they had like furniture set up in there, like how they said that it looked, you know, when he was there.
You slipped a guard $100, you could go sit on the couch.
Probably. So me being the nosy little bastard that I am, I was like, I want to go into a prison cell. And we did get to go into like a couple of them, but they were like very like, I don't know, almost like normal
ones,
not stuff that was like anything too crazy.
Yeah.
But there was another one that was open that we walked by, and they told us, we couldn't go in. I was like, well, if we can't go in, why is the door open?
Yeah.
So that's my first question. The rest of the group goes up. I kind of slither my butt all the way to the back of the group. I wait for them to keep going. I'm like, I want to go in.
Sounds like a movie.
Yes, snakes.
Snakes on a plane. Snakes
in Alcatraz. So I go into the cell, and you get that rush of adrenaline, right? Like, oh, I'm not supposed to be in here. This is cool. I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So I'm in the cell, and I'm just like looking at it. Like, it was bigger, I think, than the other ones that we had been in. Just looked like interesting because they told me I couldn't do it. So of course I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And Matt, I shit you not, I'm in that cell, and I'm facing the like door to the cell, so like outside of the cell. Okay, so my back's to the wall at the end of the cell.
Yep.
I shit you not, I hear somebody behind me say, "Please help me.
Please help you.
Please help me." So I turn around and I'm like, it's
another
10
kid
by
that got
10.
lost.
Yeah, exactly. Hanging out in there with me. It's 10 by 10. It is a small cell.
Wow.
Okay, but like I said, bigger than the other ones, but still, it's small. There's nobody else in there.
Yeah.
I whip my head around. I'm just looking at a wall.
Yeah.
It's like we have a wall right here on my left. I'm about this far away from it.
Yeah.
And I hear somebody say, "Please help me." That was like the closest experience I've had to like a supernatural, like power being, or I guess a ghost, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything, but I definitively heard somebody say, "Please help me."
Wow.
So that would be the only like
scary.
ghost story that I have.
Out of there?
I got like the chills. I kind of walked slowly out, right? Because I thought the door was gonna slam and I'd be stuck in there forever.
Yeah.
So I kind of walked like slowly out. I'm like, did somebody see me? Like, is somebody playing a prank on me? There was nobody else around.
Yeah.
My group had moved up.
Ashton Kutcher comes around the corner. You're crying.
If only I was cool and famous.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's crazy. That's a crazy story.
So yeah, that's a good one. That's
but
my only one.
you don't believe in ghosts, but you had an experience, and I have the same type of opinion on it. So I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in Great Aunt Susan is the butterfly that you see in your backyard. I don't believe in signs. I think you look for signs, and if you're looking for it, you'll find it.
Yeah, you'll talk yourself into it.
Now, not that people shouldn't, do this. I think whatever helps people feel better in any way is good. Just my thing. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in something we don't know. That's what I believe. I believe there's something we don't know. I would love to know what it is one day. I doubt we'll ever maybe figure it out in our lifetime. I bet it's going to be like light years until we figure out there's some matter that we don't even have a machine that can sense it, and it's something else that exists. We just can't pick it up. So that's what I think. However, I do also have an experience. I was in a building in Connecticut, and it is a building for rehabilitation for people with special needs. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is now. But 50, 60 years ago, it was the same type of facility, but as we know, 50, 60 years ago, the care for those people wasn't as up to par, right? People like that were mistreated and not really taken care of if you were in the 50s, 60s and you had a mental problem. So we had the ability, me and two of my friends, to go there and walk around and kind of like, we have been told from someone that works there that there are spirits there, right? Like of whatever it may be, that weird things happen there. So, like you, we were big into ghost hunters. We wanted to go check it out. We show up with our video cameras and we record for probably like 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours, running around, all of us with our iPhones and our iPods, whatever it was, touches, and recording everything. We come back, and like from watching ghost hunters, you don't hear the thing in the moment, supposedly.
Yep.
You're supposed to hear it in the tape, like in the white noise box, maybe, I don't know. You're supposed to hear it after, right?
Right.
So we go back and we're all listening to our audio clips that we have, all of us with our headphones on, and we get this sound, and I'll play it first here. I'll boost the audio too so you can maybe hear it. But we hear, right when this woman says, "I don't like this place, I never did," is right after that is the what I think is like a spiritual thing that I'm talking about says something. I'll let people hear it first. I'll play it, and then I'll let you know. I'll say what I think it is.
Okay.
I don't like this bathroom, I never did. I don't like this bathroom, I never did. I don't like this bathroom, I never did.
The woman in the video says, "I don't like this bathroom, I never did." And what I think the spirit or whatever says is, "Why not?" That's what I hear. You listen to it, you didn't hear that exactly. You heard like something else, like, what was it? What did you think you heard?
Like, that's weird. Or
that's
something,
weird, yeah.
Something like that.
So you heard something different. It might not even be anything. All I know is there was nobody else in the building or in the room that we were in. There was like, it just wasn't something that was a noise we made. And it sounds like something weird. That's all I know. That's the only proof that's the only thing that makes me question my theory. But I'm sticking by it. I don't believe in ghosts, but people did, and people have experiences that we're gonna hear right now. I have no more. I'm so out of the camera. I have no more to say about it. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm curious if the people of Boston are gonna agree with us, or if they're gonna believe in ghosts.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the streets and find out.
All right.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you believe like in somewhat of an afterlife? We're not going to get into religion or anything, but
Yeah, I think so.
So-
I think I'm more like a rebirth kind of person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have a ghost experience? Do you have anything, maybe personal or a friend, like story-wise, of something maybe supernatural?
I'm like 98% sure that my old apartment that I lived in was haunted. I used to live in Indianapolis, right?
Okay.
So I lived in.
I got family around the area in Fort Wayne.
Oh, cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So I lived in the old minor league baseball stadium that got renovated into apartments.
Okay.
And there was a legend that it was haunted. So it was the Indianapolis, used to be the Indianapolis Clowns. Now they're the Indianapolis Indians. They moved into a bigger stadium now.
Okay.
But I moved in there back in winter of 2018. And whenever I moved into my apartment, I always remembered hearing a dripping. It like in the middle of the night. Like if I ever woke up, I would hear the dripping. Daytime, never heard it. Evening, whenever I got home from work, after a workout, after a night of drinking, any of that. Like never ever heard the dripping. Only whenever I woke up between like 1 a.m. and like 5 a.m. I'd wake up and I would hear the dripping, and it sounded like it was coming from my bathroom. But I never heard it any other time of the day.
And it sounded like a faucet dripping, or
like a faucet or a pipe or like something that was just like, it was like something leaking onto a hard surface.
Okay.
Yeah, it was real weird.
Did you ever like look into it and like try to figure out like?
Absolutely not.
No, I just ignored it.
I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm black. if we said something creepy, we don't go about it.
You don't go further.
No.
Not going to happen. That's funny. All right. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Okay, so you believe in some kind of maybe afterlife or spiritual kind of thing. We don't have to go into religion or anything, but so do you have like a ghost story or encounter, or maybe someone close to you also like some kind of experience personally?
No. Well, the house that I'm currently living in, something jumps on my bed at night. So ever since I moved in, I used to think it was my dog, but now my bed is too high for my dog to get on. But I often feel something just like, it feels like it might have been an animal, but it could definitely just be somebody sitting at the edge of my bed. I have ashes of a couple of my aunt and my uncle both died in my arms, so both of their ashes
terrible. I'm sorry.
It's okay, life happens.
Yeah.
But you know, ever since I moved in, I feel it, and my cat kind of chases something through the house that isn't really there.
So,
But it's friendly.
yeah. So I think there is something there in the house
Oh, yeah,
that's
definitely.
sitting on your bed or at least walking around.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever tried to like maybe not
No.
contact it, but like do
I-
anything to like?
I will not break the barrier. I don't need any demons crossing those lines. I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm
No
all
Ouija
set.
boards.
No.
We just had a guy pass by and he was black and he said, I don't know if you know this, but black people don't chase ghosts.
Oh hell no! Yeah, that we stay far away from that whole side of things.
I had never heard that before, but
Yeah, you will. Any black person you know, they're gonna say, "Fuck no."
not-
I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. Nope. Okay. We're chasing ghosts, and we're not running through any dark woody area to find what noise is happening off in the distance.
yeah, just sit
We're-
down and ignore it.
Yeah, we're running the other way. Is what's happening. I'm going that way. I will see you later, baby. I'll pray for you.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No. No.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Got some yeses and nos.
I believe in ghosts. Yeah.
2 yeses. Does anyone have a ghost story, like something supernatural that happened to
My
them?
house is haunted in Jersey.
So why is it haunted?
So the old owner died in it, and sometimes me and my brothers, like my whole family sees her.
You do what?
Like we just see her.
You see a woman?
Yeah, like it's the old owner. Her name is Gertrude. Rest in peace. She died. But like we like fully see her in the dining room.
Like what? Moving around, sitting?
Yeah, and then like she's just gone. And we've done like Ouija boards and she talks. It's like I believe in ghosts. Like I believe in it.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom's house when she was a kid also was haunted. They'd wake up in the morning, all the cabinets would just be open. There'd be stuff flying around. Yeah,
Jesus.
They would just swing open and close all the time.
Did you ever see anything like moving, or just stuff would happen?
My mom's told me she has seen cabinets just open right in front of her.
Jesus.
Sometimes they just fly open, sometimes just creep open.
So do you believe in ghosts? You think that there's something?
If my mom's telling the truth about these stories, yeah.
All right, cool. That's good. And what you said? No.
No.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just don't believe it.
Just don't
Nah.
think there's like Casper flying around.
Nah.
All right. Do you believe in ghosts?
I believe there's spirits out there.
Spirits?
I think so, yeah.
Have you ever had like a supernatural experience, like something that just didn't make sense?
I've been in places where sometimes, especially old New England houses, you hear noises that you have no idea where those noises are coming from. So you do wonder if it's someone from beyond trying to communicate.
Okay. Have you ever had like a sign, either like anything at all that's like, I know people say like they lose somebody in their life and then they see a bird or something that reminds, or they think is a sign. Do you have anything?
Yeah, actually, we lost a friend a few years ago, and every time we see a cardinal, we always think it's that person trying to come back just to let us know.
That's
so, yeah,
great.
I believe that. I also believe that if my wife was gone for 5 years and she truly was gone, she would come back and let me know, especially if I took somebody else up in my life.
What do you think your wife would come back as, like in terms of a sign?
Definitely wouldn't be a cardinal. It'd be something, I'm thinking more like a hawk to kind of just like down, to let me know,
To tell your eyes out for
exactly.
being with someone new. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
No ghosts don't exist.
No, I don't really think so.
Do you have any kind of like supernatural stories?
No, not really.
Nothing?
Kind of boring.
Oh, that's all right. Why don't you believe in ghosts? You just don't think there's anything out there?
No, I feel like, I don't know. Where's the science? I don't know if there's any sound science to prove it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in ghosts like in the movies.
Okay.
I'm a Catholic though, so I do believe in God and like Holy Spirit, which is in a sense a ghost, but very different from like the movie ones.
Okay, so you believe in an afterlife to some degree.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, so do you don't believe maybe in like people go in between, like almost like a purgatory where they're still here? Do you believe like, a great Aunt Susan is still walking around or anything like that?
No, I mean, in particular, Catholic faith excludes that, but even without it, I don't think I would go for it.
Okay. But do you believe in like, let's say, demons? Like how like the Catholic, like looking at movies kind of take the Catholic faith and say that there are things that cross over, these spirits that are demon spirits.
Yes, I definitely believe that there are demons, there is devil. So yes, but they're not like human ghosts.
Okay, so there's something completely different.
Yes,
that are just evil.
Entirely different beings.
Okay. Do you have a ghost experience, like a personal experience of like things that woke you up in the middle of the night, or made a noise, something moved, anything like that?
I mean, I like study math and physics, so whenever something happens, I usually think hard to like find a reasonable solution, and I'm not scared about weird sounds. I mean, you kind of get used to all sorts of very weird sounds at night in college dorm. So not really.
So you have a strong belief, like you said, in math and physics, and you always try to find the rational answer. How does that kind of work with your personal belief of religion? Because there's the kind of maybe thing that maybe we just haven't discovered it like that yet, right? Everything can be explained through science, right? And I kind of believe that to a degree. So like, how do you balance your kind of personal religious views and then that as well?
I don't see a contradiction there. I mean, both religion and science seek truth, but it's in a sense different kind of truth. So I don't think it's possible to find a contradiction between a true Catholic faith and science, because they are just trying to explain different things.
Do you believe in ghosts, either of you?
No, I think you should answer first.
No.
He does. Yes, he does. He does. He believes in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I don't know, say ghosts that haunt you, but I believe if you play with the supernatural and you invite that into your life, that's a real thing.
So there's something out there, we can't see it, we don't know what it is, but you're just not saying it's maybe like a ghost.
I'm not saying a ghost that's hiding in a sheet and like boo. But like, I feel like if you mess with that supernatural, then it can hunt you or do something dangerous.
Gotcha. Same thing or no?
Yeah, it's like a boner when she's not around. You can't really see it. I'm not going to show it to you, but it exists. And we should do something about it.
Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts?
There's an afterlife maybe with spirits and ghosts and...
No, I don't.
No ghosts?
No ghosts. I believe in, if the closest thing to a ghost is more like the psychological torment that you might be left with after a traumatic situation. So let's say somebody dies. A lot of people are dying in this situation. A lot of people, right? I might be like haunted by my own subconscious.
So it's more metaphorical, you're saying?
Metaphorical, psychological, right? I might have some kind of like problem getting over that, and although I may not be like haunted by a supernatural force, I may be haunted by psychological torment as a result. And I think that's like the closest thing to a ghost, right?
All right, so I'm back in frame now, and we heard some good stories. Some people have these things that you can't explain, these experiences, and some people are like us, we're like, no, like I don't believe in it. And that's what's fun about it. So that takes us, what do you have, Joe?
One of the people said something about cardinals, right? Like, my friend just passed away, and every time we see a cardinal, we think it's him. And it's tricky because that goes back to what you were just talking about with signs. Like, if you were looking for one, you could probably find one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I was gonna die tomorrow, and if I tell you, like, look out for a red Ford Ranger is my first car, is my first truck, that's what I'm going to come back as, then you'll just be constantly looking for that truck.
That's right.
And looking where, and then it would always be in the back of your mind. So that's what I believe. I believe when the sign things, you look for it, then you'll find it. And that goes with anything.
If you believe in ghosts, or if you believe in, the supernatural, whatever, you have to have a good story to back yourself up and not just be like, I have a sign. Every time somebody crosses the road, that's my grandmother who got hit by a car.
I agree.
Need a better argument than that, but
Joe's drawing the line there.
That's it. Stick in the dirt. Line in the sand.
Line in the mulch.
Right.
And so we're moving on. Ghost was good. And we're moving on to our POB Municipal Court.
That's right.
Segment.
Up now we got Amber Heard, Johnny Depp.
Amby, and Johnny. What do you think about them?
So I really wish that I paid more attention to it to give you a more informed decision. I feel like I'm jumping on the bandwagon of the clips that based on the clips that I've seen, that, she is lying.
That's my opinion!
She might be crazy. She's making stuff up. There's something in the news today where it was like one of Johnny Depp's witnesses completely contradicted, a huge point that she had made, and it wasn't admissible, or they didn't allow that person to testify or something. I think, based off what I've seen, she's full of crap. She's crazy. It's not always the guy, right? That's the abuser in a relationship. It goes both ways, but because society thinks that it's always the male in the relationship, then it's always the male, and that's just not the case.
And you know what? That really wouldn't be wrong to assume, right? Because that is mostly from what I understand, most of the reported cases are men. when you have reports of domestic abuse, it is the man.
But it's not every time.
Yes, it's not every time. So that's what does make it difficult. And so it's it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is a good assumption to assume the man, because that is the leader in most of the cases. But yeah,
I think she's guilty.
I think she's guilty.
Let's switch it over to you, Matt. What do you think?
Sure. So I also have not been following this like every day or religiously by any means, but this is what I have kind of discerned from this. I will say yes, she's guilty of defamation, but I will say this as well. From what clips I've heard and things I've seen, they both seem like extremely toxic for each other. Seem like they brought out terrible sides of each other. Mm-hmm. He does not seem like a fun person to live with or be around.
Yeah,
I'll say that. Maybe if you're into like getting fucked up all the time, but
yeah, you'd like him.
Yeah, definitely. But he was seemed in the clips that I seemed drunk, breaking shit, right? Yep. Like definitely not like somebody that it would be like fun to like hang out around with when he's angry drunk. And then also, but the thing is, there is evidence that she definitely abused him.
Yep.
So there is that evidence, and where she was like hitting him and like kind of teasing him to say, go tell everyone that you were the one being hit. So there's evidence for sure that she did abuse him. There's evidence to him that he was not like an enjoyable presence for certain parts.
Yep.
There's also evidence that she cheated on him during their relationship with James Franco. I don't know if you saw that clip.
No, I did not.
She snuck him up into at Johnny's penthouse. She snuck James Franco up into the penthouse to fuck. Well, actually, we don't know. I didn't see them fucking in the video. Mm-hmm. I just saw them both with their hoods up in the elevator going up to like Johnny Depp's suite while they were together.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, she's not a good person, is what it seems like.
I think an argument can be made. Neither of them are good people, but the question is defamation.
Right. Yeah, and I'd say guilty because of that. So let's go in. We're going to cut before we get to the next question, which is, should Trump be allowed back on Twitter? Mm-hmm. We'll go right into what the people had to say.
Let's take a look.
Cool.
It's about Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, the whole trial.
Amber Turd.
Amber Turd. Do you think she's innocent or guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Absolutely.
Final ruling?
No question.
Why do you think that? Like,
I don't know. Have you watched the trial?
No, I haven't. I think so too. But what do you think stands out?
The way she conducts herself. Both parties conduct themselves in a certain way, and not only can you draw similarities between her acting style and the way she conducts herself on trial, but you can see that Johnny's like so lax about the whole situation. Like everybody, he's doing his thing. He can tell he doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody really wants to be there. Also, the absurdity of the situation. A lot of people. Sometimes it's hard to come up with that stuff.
Yeah.
And that can often make you think that there is some truth to it. Right.
Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. I don't know if you guys have seen what's been going on there.
Very hilarious.
Yeah. That's the question. Do you think she's innocent or guilty?
She's guilty.
She's guilty?
Johnny ain't doing nothing to her, and if you don't like it, then bitch, you should have left and moved away.
Well, I would kind of say it's kind of like Eddie Murphy.
You knew he was Pirates of the Caribbean. Come on. Stop it.
Yeah, running around with the rum.
Yeah, right. Eddie Murphy decided to go with the crumps and everything else, and he was like, I'm done being a whore, so...
Yeah.
I gotta get this children money, so Johnny went the same route when he went Caribbean.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to mess that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless it was Jell-O pudding involved, then it'd be different. But there was no Jell-O pudding, so it was.
Yeah, that cost them hundreds of millions. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, sure. But I to never be there. I'm not a person to be as a public figure that speaks on someone's legal matters and inside the house matters, unless you're actually there.
Right.
From the outside looking in, I would just say it would probably be. It'd be tough that a person who has been in that industry for such a long period of time to make a decision to fuck up his household and his money.
Yeah, seriously.
Sketchy.
Well, that's the thing is, do you think she's innocent or guilty? You said she's sketchy?
I think she's sketchy. I mean, I feel like the internet's made its decision, so I don't know how biased it is, but I've seen a couple clips and she looks a little sketchy.
Think she's guilty?
Yeah.
Based on what you see?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
Oh yeah.
You think Amber Heard's innocent or guilty?
Fuck no, what kind of crime bullshit was that? I seen her, that fake crime was actually wild. I talking about her dog stepped on a bee.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I saw it.
Fake crime and shit does not, no. You can just see through it, so really that's...
Do you think she was doing coke when she was on the stand there? You see that video? She took the napkin and she put up to her nose and kind of sniffed?
Nah.
No.
No one's that stupid to do that.
Yeah, true.
I'm not following it as much, but I think she's guilty.
Think she's guilty?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of groundbreaking a little bit because it shows the other spectrum where it's like a man can be the one that's abused.
Yeah.
I don't know, and kind of bring that to the light. But other than that, it's some Hollywood shit that I don't really.
Yeah.
Shit.
So do you think guilty? Do you think guilty? Think she is
From what I've seen, I believe that she's guilty.
Like falsely accused him and made him look worse.
And I don't know why it makes me feel bad to say it, but I think that she's guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
One guy called Amber Heard Amber Turd, which is a common nickname going around. And that's fine. What are you going to do about it? Your last name rhymes with turd. So
unfortunate, but necessary.
Yes. And so that's what the people had to say. We don't have to dive back into that. Let's go to the next thing, which is Trump and Twitter. And the Twitter ban that was put on Trump right before he left office, I think. And Elon Musk had recently, in this whole buying Twitter thing, mentioned that he would reverse that Twitter ban. He thinks Trump should be back on.
That's right.
Have you ever talked to Elon Musk recently?
Not recently, no, not recently.
Would you get back on the Twitter platform if Musk buys it and reinstates your account? Because Musk has said, look, he's done with the Democrats.
Yeah, he wants me to go back on very badly. I won't because I have Truth. I have Truth Social, which is Truth, and I think it's better than Twitter, and it's doing really well, as you obviously know.
I would say that yes, the Twitter ban should be reversed.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I also think yes. I think to me that's honestly like an easy yes.
I think it's an easy yes, because it's solely because of the reason that he was kicked off Twitter, which was because it's controlled by someone who is very far left wing as of right now. Elon Musk. Wink, wink. Hurry up.
Well, has opposing political views.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he's very far left. And frankly, so is everyone that works there because they're all pissing and moaning.
Silicon Valley usually leans to the left side of the political aisle.
Which it should be reversed just because he was kicked off because the other side of the political spectrum did not like what he had to say. Here's the thing. I don't like what Joe Biden had to say, but if I owned Twitter, I would not kick Joe Biden off Twitter.
Yeah.
Not only is he the president, but he's an established, person in our society that has a right to speak his mind.
Yeah.
You may not like it, but everyone is entitled to free speech, and I think the argument is that it was hate speech, but if you really listen to what Donald Trump was saying, it was in fact not hate speech.
Yeah.
So he shouldn't have been kicked off in the first place. After all this though, Matt, what I'm thinking too is forget Twitter. Mm-hmm. Go start something else where it actually is free speech. Another social media. Did he?
It's called Truth. We're actually have an account on there, so if you have an account on Truth, go follow us.
It's got to get bigger, so I know about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. But go somewhere else where people aren't going to squash your ideas. They're not going to, censor you for saying stuff that you believe in.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, don't follow him.
Yeah. Just don't block him even. You don't have to. You can block him.
And then nothing on your feed will show up of his.
Yeah.
But that's just how the left is.
Yeah. So I think that I agree with all of your points except for this. I think people throw this around a lot, and I get the general point, which is freedom of speech, right? Now, freedom of speech in America is obviously, and I know you know this, is from the federal government to us, right? It's not from a private business to people using that business, whether it be you can't, no shoes, no shirt, no service type thing. Businesses have the ability to basically kind of discriminate or like block people depending on their own rules.
Yeah.
So that also has to, and that goes into freedom within organizations, right, which I think also needs to be respected. So obviously Twitter has every right to do this. It's not taking away freedom of speech for Twitter to ban him. What I think it is its inconsistency with what he has, I guess, violated the community standards compared to, you have to uphold that. If you're going to block him for basically tweets that weren't, were maybe on the line, right? That could maybe be considered, which they were, but that could maybe be considered. You have to block everybody then for what they do, right? And if we're going to get into it, I mean, what about there's leaders of ISIS and whatnot on Twitter. Mm-hmm. There's other world leaders who have done much worse, literally, not just what they say, but have done much worse to people of, whether it be people in general, people that are in that whatever LGBT community, that's a violation, right? Anything in the buckets of violations, people have actually done worse. So if we're gonna have rules that as an organization, they need to be consistent and they need to be followed through across the board, not just with certain people. You can't just handpick, and that's my biggest problem. I don't care if he were to be blocked, and so was Putin and other leaders that have said and done worse, for example, then I would say, okay, at least they're upholding their own company standards.
Yeah, the ironic thing here with this situation is it's never, though, a Democrat, right? It's never a liberal that violates their community guidelines, standards, whatever. Yes, they are absolutely a private business.
From what I know, yes.
It always is affecting people on the right side of the political spectrum, which is what I have a problem with as well.
Yeah, and again, I think that's just because it could have been vice versa, and I know you would be just as mad, and I would be too, if it was Republican leaning people running an organization, and they were basically discriminating against people of that lean on the left side.
Absolutely,
it's just as wrong. So it's something that just shouldn't be happening in general, especially when it comes to business. Politics shouldn't be in business, and it unfortunately is, but it shouldn't be. He said he wouldn't come back. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that he said he would come back,
but I know he would. He
loves it.
Yeah, he does love it.
I think he should have it back. We need the truth.
Yes, let's see what what people had to say about Trump's Twitter ban and if it should be reversed. What they think about him personally, because some people got in deep with how they feel personally about him and what they think should happen. So let's go and see. Trump's Twitter ban be reversed. With Elon Musk buying Twitter, he mentioned that he doesn't agree with it. Should it be reversed?
I mean, yeah. Who the fuck cares? Elon already said that he'd put Trump back on. He showed no interest in joining Twitter again. So
yeah, because he's got his new platform or something.
Exactly, but he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. So you guys think yes?
Yeah. I think it should be reversed. Yeah.
At this point, it's old news, right?
Yeah.
And they let Putin have a Twitter account. So it's like I hate the guy, but I don't know. I feel like it's like he's still like he's not the same president like he was the president. I feel like it's weird that a company can just take someone who is that important's Twitter away. I don't know.
Well, that's cool too that you don't like him personally.
Yeah. Okay.
But you at least can kind of understand it's maybe weird.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's weird that a president doesn't have a Twitter account. Like you said, when Putin has one, and people have said way worse things on Twitter. There's porn on Twitter for Christ's sake. I mean,
I think you can still do the misinformation. You could tag it or something.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Why is that nigga still alive? He's supposed to be dead. But we leave him. Yeah. Because I don't know what he's going on, what he got going on, but he needs to calm down with that bullshit.
Do you think
Twitter?
So you don't think he should be allowed back on, or do you? No.
No, he's like a girl when her and her boyfriend gets in a real argument. They just go to Twitter, start talking, shit.
Yeah, throwing shade on Twitter.
Yep.
If he got back on Twitter, you'd be upset, or would you tune in?
I'll just delete the app.
You delete it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if Elon Musk is watching, you're gonna lose a follower, a subscriber. Elon Musk recently mentioned.
People still talking about him?
Well, he just recently mentioned that he was going to let him back on Twitter. Do you guys think that should happen or no?
I mean, my opinion is that's also a part of the American Constitution, freedom of speech.
Sure.
And if it had to be taken away from a company that's trending, I think it should be returned back. Because, I mean, person will only speak whatever they're going to say, and it'll come out if they say it in real time. So I think it should be restored. It's just up to you if you want to listen to that person's opinions or not.
Sure.
It's like changing the station.
I agree with that. I mean, he's ignorant. If you follow him, you're ignorant. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, and you could block him, but at least maybe he has the ability to talk, kind of thing.
But I mean, do you believe what he say? Really?
Yeah. I think rights of this country should always be equivalent, and it shouldn't be changed based off of public opinion right now.
Gotcha.
So so be restored, and also Elon is a reason why he's made the money he's made.
Yeah, I mean billionaire. Jesus.
Hello. So anything that has to deal with any kind of publicity or proper marketing, that sounds like a really good decision as well.
I didn't even know he was banned from Twitter.
Yeah, so he's banned from Twitter, and Elon Musk recently bought it.
Okay.
And then said that he's planning on he thinks that he should be allowed back on. What do you think about that?
For the sake of freedom of speech, I guess equal opportunity for everybody. In that way, I personally don't have an opinion on the whole thing. So if it's about is he considering like he's the president, whatever. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't be allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that he doesn't conduct himself away, but yeah, freedom of speech. That's my answer.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
I don't really like political questions, but yeah, because like I don't see why they would take away Trump from Twitter.
Yeah.
Like he just says goofy shit half the time.
Yeah.
People are like, whoa, this guy ran the country. Like.
I've seen way worse tweets by people with 60 followers than what this guy said. It's whatever. Let the dude say what he wants.
Yeah, and
the
it's
people that are paying attention are paying attention. The people that don't care.
Yeah, so you think whatever at this point?
Yeah.
He's old news anyway?
Whatever. Talk your shit, dude. Whatever.
Yeah. Could Trump's Twitter ban be reversed? Elon Musk recently mentioned that he was thinking about like letting him back on. Should it be reversed? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm kind of one of those people. I mean, I'm not pro-Trump by any means, but I think the internet should remain a place where there's kind of like this crazy freeness of it. It's not governed like the rest of the world is, and I know that people might not like that, but I mean, the internet is not supposed. I think we're gonna go down a trail that's really not great if we're just banning people left and right when we don't
like.
Yes, I think the internet should stay kind of like a free reign type deal, but that's just my opinion.
Well, it's cool. It's cool that you at least kind of admit, you don't like the person personally, but you think there should be a level of like freedom.
Yeah, I wish he'd stop talking, but
yeah. I mean, it's half the shit's nonsense. Right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of old news at this point anyway, so.
Hopefully.
All right, that's all we got.
All right,
Thanks
fun.
so much. Yeah. So based on the quick poll we did on the streets, people think that he should be allowed back on.
Which was honestly surprising, right?
Yes.
Considering the city that we live in, I thought it was a little bit surprising.
Yeah.
But people did think that he had a right to be on there.
And it was nice to see people that clearly disagreed with him made that very obvious. They said, I don't like him. I think he's like whatever, obnoxious, ridiculous. But I think it should be, he should be allowed back on.
Yep.
And that was really nice to see. It was and I think that's what normal people do think about people that they don't like. And going back to our previous conversation before the break that we just had, it's people that are in these maybe powerful positions that lean a certain way that then feel the need to maybe silence other people of the opposite political view, and that's not right. Normal people, I don't think, will work like that.
Right.
Which is good.
That's right. So this is a great episode. We had some good questions. We had some funny answers. So once again, we're going to remind you guys to go check out our website, www.thepeopleofboston.com. Leave us a review. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. You guys will get a sneak peek at clips of interviews, kind of funny conversations that we've had with people along the way before the new episodes are released every Monday.
Yes.
And then just another reminder, we are on Rumble. And going back to the Tibetan story, I did meet with the founder of YouTube who sucked me off on a mountain. We know everything about YouTube now. We have a great channel. We post some great content. In addition to Spotify, you'll be able to see a video of our podcast on YouTube as well.
Yes, if you're only listening to this but want to go and watch a specific person just to see what they look like, because I've done that too. Or you just want to see specific segments of On the Street, we have everything broken up. We have the full episode. We have just this people on the street. If you only want to do a quick thing of just watching that, you can get it all there on YouTube if you don't have Spotify and can't watch us while you listen to us.
And Matt puts in a lot of effort. He puts in a lot of work.
Yes.
Let's go check that stuff out for us, all right?
Let's do it. And that's all we got.
That's it.
Great episode.
Good episode. Till next week.
Cheers.
I've been in instances where in classroom participation, I raise my hand and say, 2 + 1's 3. And everybody in class will, 3, ha, ha.